Hello everybody, my name is Hurricanehaon, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. In the last episode, we finished up the final world, or got to where the final boss is, and in this episode, we're gonna be going over what I've done off camera. I went ahead and grinded up to level 100, and I got all of the synthesis grinding out of the way. So here's a little recap on what I did. So the first thing I went ahead and took care of was grinding to level 100. Normally I would recommend you do your synthesis grinding first, however I recorded my level grinding first, so that way I did not have to record the synthesis grind.
Submit!
So here's a short little montage of me grinding everybody to level 100.
Submit! Submit! Take that! This is it! Come on! Come on! Submit! Submit! Submit!
So let's go over the synthesis grinding. So how it works is there is a whole bunch of different synthesis items that exist, and they are sorted into different categories, such as blaze, bright, frost, power, thunder, and so on and so forth. And each of these categories has a crystal, gem, shard, or stone. At least most of them do. There are a total of 6 sets of items you can synthesize using these synthesis materials. And in order to unlock the next set, you have to synthesize a certain amount of the previous sets. You can only unlock the last set once you have synthesized every other item in the game. And this last set consists of the Ultima weapons for Sora and his party members. I will not be going over where to find the crystal, gem, and shard varieties of all of these synthesis materials because there's just too many enemies to go over. However, I will be going over where to get each stone as well as the couple of other synthesis items that do not fall into the normal categories. So first up, let's go over the special Heartless. These Heartless are new Heartless that appear in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. There is one in each world, and they always appear in the same location, and they require a lot more strategy than your normal Heartless. Each of these special Heartless drop a certain type of stone, and you're gonna need a lot of those for the synthesis grinding. The first one is Sniper Wild, which appears in the 2nd district of Traverse Town. These things are probably the most difficult Heartless. If at any time a Sniper Wild sees you, they will instantly summon a whole horde of them and will constantly barrage you with slingshots, I believe, until you either leave the area or you get knocked out. So you have to make sure to sneak up on them and to hit them until they die. The way they work is that 1 will spawn, and then after you kill 1, 2 will spawn, and then after you kill them, 3 will spawn. Once you defeat the group of 3, you will have a chance of a Power Stone dropping, and then the pattern will cycle once more. There are a few different ways in order to do this. Some people use stop, others use summons. For me personally, I just wait until they all split up and then I take them out one at a time. These guys are definitely the worst to deal with and they can be a pain. As a side note, if you're having trouble getting any of these new Heartless to spawn, just travel out of the world, go to Traverse Town, and then go back to the world that you're going to. For the Sniper Wilds, leave Traverse Town, go to a different world, and then come back. That will usually get them to respawn, because they normally only spawn once while you're in the world. Up next is the Gigas Shadow, which appears in the Bazaar Room of Wonderland. You'll know that they have spawned because you'll see 2 waves of normal shadows, and once you defeat those 2 waves, the big, humongous shadows will appear. The gimmick with them is that you have to try and defeat all of them, but if any of them land a hit on you, then the one who just landed a hit disappears. The more you defeat, the higher the chance you have of a Fury Stone dropping. The best way to take them down is to cast whatever arrow skill you have on you, preferably Aeroga if you have it, and then just go ham and destroy them all because they can't really hit you because of your Aeroga spell. Usually if you defeat all 7 of them, you have a chance to get 2 Fury Stones. Next up is the Black Ballad, which is in the Bamboo Thicket of Deep Jungle. This one is pretty simple. There's gonna be 5 of them, and one of them is going to be the correct one, and they're gonna shuffle around. I would constantly pause and unpause in order to make it easier to keep track of which one is the correct one. The more times you get it right, the bigger the chance you have to get lightning stones. Up next is the pot scorpion, which is in the palace gates in Agrabah. Agrabah. This one is probably the easiest one out of them all. You're gonna see 16 pots. One of them is gonna be the pot scorpion. The rest are going to be just regular old pots. A good way to tell which one is the pot scorpion is to try to move the pots. The one pot you cannot move is the pot scorpion. You want to hit all of the regular pots first and the pot scorpion last, because that will give you the biggest chance of a mithril stone. Once the pot scorpion shows up, the only way to attack it is to basically parry it whenever it tries to attack you, and then attacking it as much as possible. The faster you take it out, the more likely that it will also drop a mithril stone for you as well. Up next is the Grand Ghost, who is in the stomach of Monstro. This enemy is quite interesting because the only way to defeat it is to give it some healing items. The guide that I've been using says to give it 1 elixir and 2 high potions for 2 frost stones, but I find the easiest thing to do is just to give it 3 mega potions, because I never use my mega potions anyway. But if you do have just an excess amount of items, just throw as many elixirs as you can. But for me, I'm going to keep my elixirs for the hard fights that are coming up ahead. Next up is the Chimera, which is in the manor ruins of Halloween Town. Thankfully, there are no special Heartless in Atlantica or in the 100 Acre Woods. So remember the Red Trinity glitch that I was talking about? Well, I realized that it's because there are 2 different enemy types that spawn within the manor ruins. One of them has the Chimera, and one of them doesn't. If you see the Red Trinity, then that's how you know the map with the Chimera will be spawning. You can also tell because there will be just 1 enemy that spawns when you first go down there, compared to 3 or 4 or 5, or how many that normally spawn. Once you defeat the wave of enemies, the Chimera will appear. He has 2 separate health bars. Once you knock down his first health bar, he's gonna drop 3 orbs, and you want to try and hit these orbs back into him as fast as possible. The easiest way to do this is by casting whatever wind spell you currently have on you. The more times you reflect these orbs, the more chances you have to win blazing stones. Up next is the Jet Balloon, which appears on the deck of Neverland. This guy can be very, very hit or miss. Cast whatever wind magic you have, and then just go straight for him and try to knock him out. He's a pain because he moves around really quickly, and he summons a lot of, I don't even know their names, a lot of enemies in order to try and steal your money from you. You may want to equip a lot of treasure magnets so that way the dazzling stone doesn't fall straight into the sea. Up next is the Stealth Soldier, who appears in the Grand Hall of Hollow Bastion. These guys are invisible, and usually 2 or 3 of them will spawn in the Grand Hall. Basically, you just have to find them, lock onto them, and then attack them as much as possible until they appear and then defeat them. These guys can be a pain because they move around very, very quickly. If you are able to defeat them before they run away, there's a good chance that they will drop an energy stone. And finally, the last stone you can obtain is a Stormy Stone from Neil Shadows, which appear at the end of the world in the room right before the final rest. There is no special technique for these guys, you just have to try and kill them all as fast as possible. They like to jump in the ground and mess with you and heal each other, but just keep on them and you should be able to defeat a lot of them to get a Stormy Stone. I should also mention that a special type of synthesis material called Gale is dropped from the two enemies that appear only in the end of the world. The Angel Stars and the Invisibles, I believe they're called. Now for the other special synthesis materials. First one is Dark Matter. Dark Matter is a synthesis material that you're probably going to have to synthesize, because there are only 14 of them in treasure chests. There is one dark matter in each world, with the exception of Hollow Bastion, where there are 2 of them. The same thing goes for Mithrils, but Mithrils are a lot more common and a lot easier to synthesize. Orichalcums are another synthesis material that you can gain from synthesizing them and from treasure chests, but you can also buy them from the item shop, making them a heck of a lot easier to obtain. Mystery Goo is dropped by the 3 mushrooms that you can find around the worlds. You get them from white mushrooms by completing their tasks, the black fungus by casting gravity on them. I never knew you could do that until I saw Donald do it once. And rare truffles by hitting them enough times in a row without letting them drop. Rare truffles can also drop some basically items that are achievements of you hitting them 50 or 100 times, but I've never been able to get those items, and I think they only sell for a high price. After obtaining every single type of arts from the white mushroom, if you head back to Merlin in Traverse Town, you get a nifty little item. This is an item that not a lot of people know about. Hello, Mr. Merlin. You're becoming a real sorcerer. Here's something for your effort. And Goofy obtained the Dream Shield. I better get busy too. Well, that's interesting. So the Dream Shield is actually a piece of, it's actually a weapon from the very, very beginning of the game. You might have remembered that we used that early on to take down the first dark side. Now, you can obtain the Dream Shield and the Dream Rod for Donald later on, but there is no way to obtain any sort of dream weapon for Sora, because he can only use a Keyblade, not a sword. And finally, Serenity Powers, which are dropped by the pink Agaricus. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. You can find this mushroom either in Atlantica or in the deep jungle, but it's going to be a lot easier to go into the deep jungle for this one. Before even approaching this enemy, you're going to want to equip as much MP as possible. And you are also going to want to go with a Ragnarok ability, and you're also going to want some form of stop on your shortcut menu. Next, you go to the treetops, which is where this enemy is located. There are going to be 3 white mushrooms in random locations that you have to cast stop on. Once you do that, the pink Agaricus will spawn. Before you tackle this enemy, cast Bambi in order to fill up your MP to full. Once your MP is full, go ahead and lock on to the mushroom's head. Make sure it's his head and not his body. Those are 2 separate things you can lock onto. Lock onto his head, then cast some form of wind, and then immediately cast stop, and then use Ragnarok. Once you're done using Ragnarok, Just attack him 2 or 3 times until Ragnarok appears again, use it again, and then attack him more, and then try using Ragnarok again, and so on and so forth. You need, I believe, at least 50 hits in order to obtain Serenity powers. I believe you also get a special item for hitting him 100 times, but I've never been able to do it, and I hear it's next to impossible if you did not choose the staff during the beginning of the game. Now, in the HD 1.5 remix, Donald and Goofy would hit the pink Agaricus whenever you hit a triangle, which would take away 1 hit that you just did. So you would actually have to hit him more than 100 times in order to get that special item. However, they fixed that in the PS4 version, where Donald and Goofy will no longer attack him. This Heartless is probably going to be the one you're spending the most time on because of how difficult it is to get those Serenity powers. And that covers it for all the synthesis grinding. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk to this little Moogle man. So in order to even unlock the 3 ultimate weapons, you have to have synthesized every other item in the game. After doing so, then these 3 weapons will unlock. In order to fuse these 3 weapons, you will need every type of stone out there, as well as some mystery goo, some thunder gems, and some dark matter. If you need to synthesize more dark matter, you're probably going to be needing to synthesize mithril. So that can add even more time to your synthesis grinding if you're not careful. But I went ahead and got all the necessary materials so we can finally synthesize everything. So let's take a look at what these look like. So Goofy got the 7 elements, raises max MP by 3. That's a lot of MP. I think I'm gonna stick with his mighty shield though. With Donald, Fantasia will raise his max hit MP by 3. Very, very nice. Wait a second. I forgot about mine, of course. The ultimate weapon. Look at that thing. Raises max MP by 2 and possesses maximum power and attributes. I have no clue what it means by attributes, but we're gonna go with it. This thing is absolutely massive. So with that out of the way, let's go over what we're looking like for the end game. For items, I picked up a ton of elixirs from grinding to level 100, so I'm just going to be using those for the rest of the game, and I'll be giving Donald and Goofy high potions whenever I feel like they need them. For equipment, here's what I'm using, as well as Donald and Goofy. That explains why my HP and MP is so ridiculously high. Abilities, for myself, I took off all the tech boosts, all these little things. I don't use Gravity Break or Stun Impact, and I'm keeping off Ripple Drive, Blitz, and Aerial Sweep, as I don't really use those either. For Donald and Goofy, they have everything equipped except for their treasure magnets, because they don't really need them. And of course, everything shared is equipped as well. Customization is same old as usual. And here are what our stats are looking like. That was a lot of R's. I'm a pirate now, apparently. So now it is time to move on and complete everything that needs to be done before the final boss. The first of those is all the way over at the Olympus Coliseum. Now, I understand that some of you may be worried that I'm gonna have a really easy time with the rest of the game because I'm level 100. However, I will be putting a handicap on myself just so I don't go overboard. Look at this thing. I have a feeling something sinister is afoot. I went ahead and outfitted Donald and Goofy with some high potions, because we're gonna be entering the Hades Cup. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. You know how in the other tournament cups there are 10 participants? In this one there's 50. Yes, you heard that right. 50. 5-0. Holy rockamole, the Ultima weapon is awesome. But not as overpowered as the Divine Rose, because with the Divine Rose, pretty much every other hit is a critical hit, so it just drains both enemies and bosses' health bars. You may be going, well, I'm obviously doing very well for myself right now. I can't talk, apparently. But that's just for the beginning of the Hades Cup. Don't worry, it'll get hard very quickly. So unless anything interesting shows up, which it will, I'm just gonna go through these like I always do. Hello, Yuffie. I thought you weren't until a lot later, but if you really want to try and beat me right now, it's not gonna go so well for you, though. I'm sorry, Yuffie. And Goofy got a Genji shield from his troubles of defeating Yuffie. Here we are at the 40th seed. The arena is gone, or the little stage at least, because we have this behemoth to take down. I believe you are the first instance of... No, you are not, Mr. Man. Never mind. We'll be talking about what I was referencing later. Otherwise, just defeat him how you would with any other behemoth-like thing. I guess it's kind of rude to call you a thing, isn't it? Nice and easy. And our Blizzara has upgraded to Blizzaga. Oh, I guess this kind of counts as a special enemy because it's a whole boss. I guess. It's not really putting up too much of a fight. And just like that, it's over. Do I get anything from that? No. Hello, Mr. Stealth Sneak. I see you sneaking your way for some more screen time. But alas, you are no match for my Ultima Keyblade. Thank you, Donald. Alright, seed number 30. Why do we not have the arena? Oh. Bud, you're starting a little close to me. Go ahead and throw that wind on us. And we're just gonna hack and slash and hope for the best. Come here, Cerberus. You can't hide from me forever. Whoa, hello. Audio? Are you okay? I hope so. And for that, we have gotten Thundaga. Oh yeah, I failed to mention Blizzaga is just a stronger and wider version of Blizzara. And Thundaga is the same deal with Blizzaga. Hello, Mr. Opposite Armor. I'm not losing to you this time. I need to dish out some very well-deserved revenge. Because clearly my past has come to haunt me. Come on, Mr. Opposite Armor Man. Why are you not taking any damage? Sir? Oh, it's because he still has an arm? Oh, there we go. Justice has been served. Hello, Cloud and Leon. Good to see we have the arena back. Let's take out Leon first. Cloud's off doing his own thing. Are you gonna put up a fight, Mr. Leon man? I guess not. Okay, Cloud. Now it's your turn. Where? Oh, there he is. He just kind of like shot up in the air. Oh, great. Run away! I mean, if you just want to go for Donald, I'm fine with that. Are we good? We are good. Sorry, Cloud, but you're no match for me. And we got Lionheart, a new Keyblade. Whoa, this looks spooky. Okay, scene number 10. What do you got?
Yo, hey, how you doing, everybody? Yeah, got a minute? Hades, Lord of the Dead, nice to see you. Hey, guess what? I got a place for you down under.
Okay, Hades. I thought you would have been number 1, but I guess if you're that easy. So you may have noticed I am hitting him in the face, but he's taking no damage until just then. Oh boy, let's heal and be a little bit cautious. You can usually dodge roll past that. I don't know why I'm sucking at it, or maybe you can't? Anyway, the reason he didn't take damage at the beginning is simply because his HP bar is so high and they didn't bother adding another color to the HP bars. So it just looks like he isn't taking damage, even though he is at the beginning. I believe there are 2 other bosses that we're gonna run across that has that same problem. There you go. That's how you dodge roll. Maybe. Almost there. Okay, Hades. Oh, he still has a couple invincibility frames left. There we go.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop! Hey guys, get away from me! Oh, come on!
Gravira has upgraded to Gravia, and we got Ansem's report number 8. But for some reason, there are 9 other seeds that have beaten Hades, including these guys. Like, how does Hades lose to these things? I have no clue. Another stealth sneak. I mean, I guess if you want to keep showing up, Mr. Stealth Sneak Man. Two stealth sneaks for the price of 1. However, 2 aren't better than 1 in this case. Where's... Oh, there you are. Would you die, please? They have invincibility frames for some reason if they start doing this little eye laser move. There we go. That was a little annoying. Okay, it's finally time for the number 1 seed. Are you ready for the easiest boss fight in the entire game? I sure am. This is the Rock Titan. He is the second boss with too much HP to fit on the health bar. I do have EXP 0 equipped, but if I didn't, you would be getting 1 tech point every time you hit his foot, which would knock him down. And then I also believe you get tech points for hitting him in the head. This dude is insanely easy. The only way he can really fight you is to just smack his jaw against himself like that. And I fell. Please get back up. Nope. Oh well. It's possible to stay. I want to hit his foot, please. Thank you. It is possible to stay up there on his head and just whack him up there. But anyway, that's the easiest boss fight in the game.
Not bad, huh? We're the champs!
And with that, we have learned Trinity Limit. A very powerful, very awesome spell. Although you get it very late in the game, so it has next to no use. Let's go ahead and save our progress. I'm probably going to want to equip... Where is it? Strike Raid, just in case. But I should be fine. Man, they burned through their items again. Save one more time. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take on the Hades Cup solo. Just me, please. Just like usual, unless something weird happens, I'll see you at the end. Mr. Rock Titan, you were just as easy as the last time, and Donald got Save the Queen for our troubles. Now, let us give Donald and Goofy some high potions again, No, wait. We're gonna want to give them ethers, because that's going to be our strategy for the timed battle in Hades Cup. I got my ethers. I got my strike raid. I've saved the game. Now it's time for the Hades. Come on. The Hades Time Limit Cup. So, unlike the other cups, which give you 3 minutes to complete it, this one gives you 20 minutes. You better not need all those 20 minutes. Especially with the strike raid combo that you're gonna have.
That's the power of the
Just like
Keyblade.
usual, I'll see you when I'm done. And with 5 minutes, 36 seconds, and 86 milliseconds left, Goofy has obtained Save the King. And with that, we have completed all of the cups. You may notice there are 2 little question marks here. We'll be getting to those later. But for now, let's go ahead and save. And let's check out our rewards. So Goofy got 2 shields. The Genji shield, not really that good. And Save the King, which is actually pretty good. But I'm gonna keep his mighty shield on, because his strength is the best part about him. And Donald got Save the Queen. Raises max MP by 2. Pretty good strength, but not as much MP as Fantasia, so I'm gonna leave that one on. And Sora got Lionheart. Raises max MP by 1 and enhances magic and summon power. Also deals great physical damage. And we also got Ansem's report number 8. So let's go ahead and read that. There is no doubt that the heartless are deeply connected to people's hearts. Further study may unravel both their motivations and the mysteries shrouding the heart. As a start, I have built a device that artificially creates heartless. By recreating the conditions that spawn the heartless naturally, I should be able to produce them artificially. This device is the culmination of all my research thus far. The machine's test run successfully created a heartless. This may be a step toward creating a heart from nothing. The artificially and naturally created heartless showed nearly identical traits. But the 2 types should remain distinct for the purposes of this experiment. So, I will mark the ones that are created artificially. Very, very interesting. Before I forget, if we climb up here, this is something that I got off screen. Not with this Moogle, but not you either, Mr. Moogle. Wow, we made all the items possible. You're pretty good at this, Kupo. We hereby declare you a master synthesist. Sora became a master synthesist? Just kidding, Kupo. That's a nice little Easter egg that not a lot of people know about. I don't know if I would even consider that an Easter egg, quote unquote, but it is pretty funny, and I forgot that thing existed. But anyway, we have a new ability, Trinity Limit. Trinity Limit requires all the MP from every single one of your party members. I believe you need at least 3 MP to use this thing. And it's basically just a glorified screen nuke that looks really cool, to be honest. But it just wipes out everybody around you. But I don't think it works on bosses. I think it just does damage to them. But I'm not 100% certain on that. I believe we also got some new magic. Graviga, Thundaga, and Blizzaga. You may be wondering, where the heck is Stopga? We'll be getting to that next episode. But until then, my name is Hurricanehaon. This has been Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.